Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to be talking about Monte Cook's Games $99 PDF version of Invisible Sun, the role-playing game. All right, so let me give a little bit of context first. So basically, Invisible Sun is created by Monte Cook Games. Monte Cook Games, by the way, is owned by Monte Cook. It's also co-owned by Shauna Germain. And Monte Cook Games is essentially the game company that features the work of Monte Cook. I think that's first and foremost. It's literally in the name. And basically, who Monte Cook is he came out of 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons. Did a lot of work on 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons. He did a very tiny amount of work on 5th edition, and then left 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons before the game was finished. Monte Cook is known for being, today, he has a successful gaming company that has created many games: Numenera, The Strange, Invisible Sun, and he is also known for being very talented at creating tabletop role-playing games through Kickstarter on a successful model, and for delivering those Kickstarters. Monte Cook Games delivers the Kickstarters that it creates, right? That it starts, right? Now, last year, in May of 2018, Monte Cook Games released the Black Cube, which is the physical manifestation of the Invisible Sun role-playing game. The Invisible Sun is a super indie, modern tabletop role-playing game about like modern deities mixed with modern occult figures mixed with reality shifting. It's a very, very esoteric setting. Okay, there's really nothing like it. It doesn't really have any kind of you can't, like, when you say Invisible Sun, you don't really say it's like this, right? So the Black Cube is a $252 luxury tabletop role-playing game. Luxury is my word. I don't think they use that term, right? And it is literally, it looks like a secret library, right? When you fold it out, it has these black ribbons. It comes in a cube. It's literally 30 pounds. The Black Cube is 30 pounds. It comes in a gigantic box, right? And you fold it out. It has 4 hardback books, right, totaling 600 pages of content, and it has 1,000 cards in it. All right. Now, all of that is pretty incredible. And when they released the Invisible Sun RPG in the physical manifestation of the game called the Black Cube, they did it through Kickstarter, and they sold everything they created, right? And then for Christmas of 2018, there was no ability to purchase the game, right? Now today, if you want the Black Cube, you are SOL. It is out of print, right? You can pre-order it for $252, and you'll be able to get your copy in June, right? But the reason why this game, in my opinion, is out of print is it is incredibly difficult to print, right? So in order for them to make a Black Cube, they have to make the box itself. They have to make ribbons. They have to make cards. They have to, in the box, there is a statue of a black human hand, right? Like, it's pure obsidian black. And it's like literally like 10 inches tall. It's scaled almost like a real human hand. It's really odd, right? And that's just a prop that's in the box, right? So it's really incredible and really unique, okay? So really, this is one of the most expensive tabletop role-playing games ever created, and it's one of the most unique, but it's been beset by problems because it's so hard to print, it actually can't remain in print. So 10 months after the game's release, you still can't just walk into a bookstore and buy it. You can't do that, right? And that's a problem, right? So Monte Cook Games has fixed that problem. So they have released the game as a PDF. You're getting 600 pages of content. You're getting all the hardback books, and you're getting those cards, right? You're also getting like a board, and you're getting these circular coasters, like, and all of this. When you buy the PDF for $99, you're going to need to print all of that, right? Or you can play it on your laptop, one or the other, right? I think with the files, you could play. It's POTS? No, I guess since you're actually dealing with the cards, so you might be, I'm sure you could jury rig a way to play it without actually printing it, but it'd be incredibly difficult. So when you're buying that $99, I think what you're receiving is you are receiving a guilt-free ticket to print as many copies as you want for yourself, as many and for everyone in your group, right? So if you're somebody in your group is like, I'd really like to read this book, you could print that book for them. Of course, you would print, you could read, you wouldn't have to print any of the books if you didn't want to. You could just choose to just print the cards, right? Excuse me. But the nice thing is, with the PDF, you get a ton of flexibility. You can print as much as you want as you want of it. You print as little as you want of it. Once you have that PDF, you can give it to all your players. You guys can play, laptops and labyrinths, right? And, essentially just be at the same table and just have it all on your laptops. It's a perfectly acceptable way to play the game, right? I do think you might have to print some of the decks in order to do some of the things you need to do. But no one who's buying $99 PDFs or $252 luxury RPGs is sweating printing another deck, right? It's just not, you're not really seeing that, right? This is not a product for people who are struggling, right? So the people who are buying it have means, and you could see that. Like, I watched a great unboxing, and these people who are purchasing this game, they're not, they have means, right? So we'll leave it at that. All right. So what's my take, okay? Is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? So I think it's both. Overall, boy, that's tricky. Overall, I think, my personal opinion, I think Monte Cook Games should not have printed this as a PDF. The Black Cube is truly a unique product. There's nothing like it on the market. And the fact that it's out of print gave it a certain mystique. And this is absolutely the kind of game that should have mystique. And by creating a PDF, that mystique is absolutely diminished, I think. So, because PDF is, it's, I have a PDF collection myself, right? And I think they're incredibly helpful and they're incredibly useful, right? But they're commodity, right? Like, it's more fast food than fine dining, right? And there's very little you can do to change that, right? And if that's ever going to be true, it's certainly going to be true on a product like the Black Cube. So personally, I think Monte Cook Games should not have created a PDF version of this game. And the reason why is I think it would have allowed the mystique on the Black Cube to remain significant, right? So it diminishes the mystique of the Black Cube itself, okay? The other issue is, I don't think it's, the other issue is there's a possibility that this was done because Monte Cook Games needed kind of a flush of cash, which I think it's generating, right? It's number one on Drive-Thru-RPG. So if this was done as a tactic to make sure that the company is getting through a hard time, totally get it. I think that's completely, I would have done the same thing if I was a business owner, right? And as a business owner, you might need to do certain things at certain times, So if it was done for that reason, 100% get it. They may have done it just because there were so many complaints that people couldn't get the game, right? That's possible too. Now, here's the other. So on the $99, I don't think it is too much to ask people to pay $99 for 600 pages of content and for 1,000 cards and for the design work that was put into Invisible Sun. However, I don't think anyone should buy this game except a very, very small group of people. So and I'll explain who that is. So anyone who does not own the game, I do not think should buy the PDF. And the reason why is the PDF is 39% of the cost of the actual game. And so I think, so I would say that the Black Cube is 50 times cooler than a PDF of Invisible Sun RPG, right? So if you're going to put $100 out, I would just stretch and pay the $252, right? And if the game's 50 times cooler in its actual Black Cube manifestation, then that means at that point it is not a wise purchase to pay $99 for the Invisible Sun RPG, right? So I think that's one of the reasons why I personally don't think it's a good idea for anyone who doesn't own the game to purchase the PDF. They should They should stretch $152 more, 61% more, and get the black cube, because that's a much, much better value. And that has some resale value. Like, I'm convinced that the black cube is going to do nothing but go up, whereas a PDF will never go up, right? So, like that, that's clear as day. So I definitely think with a $99 price point on the PDF, people should absolutely purchase the actual black cube manifestation, okay? Now, who should buy the $99 PDF? I think the people who should buy the $99 PDF are people who have already bought the black cube, okay, and want to read it while they're traveling, and want to be able to have it on their laptop so they can do research and they can do builds more quickly for the game. That's a perfect. So, just people who already own the game, who want the convenience of the electronic version, they should buy the 99 version. And that those people are now in for $351, right? But they have the fullest, most robust version of the game, and that's completely acceptable. I don't think there's nobody harmed in that. And the reason why is this product was made from day one for people with means. Anybody who's struggling to buy tabletop role-playing games has no business, getting into Invisible Sun, right? Now, they do have a purchase order where a group can get together and purchase it together, the black cube. So that's another option. And also, okay, so that is very nice. So that is one group. I think there's one more group, okay, that might want to consider getting the PDF version, right? So there are some purchasers. Here's another purchaser. So if I bought the black cube, right, and actually this Christmas I had a little bit of extra money and I went to buy the black cube, and I couldn't because it was out of print, right? And I do not like pre-orders. I personally don't. I don't like giving people money now for something I'm going to get a long time from now. It's not in Scott Garibay's nature. I'm an impatient person, right? So I really, and especially at that level, it drives me crazy. All right, so I'm not a big pre-order guy, right? And I would like, and I'm hoping at someday, that I can come across the black cube at a time when I've just got a bonus or something like that. And because for me, it's a challenging purchase, right? But, and the only reason it would be a challenging purchase for me is I personally don't know a ton of people that would be interested in the setting of this game. So for me, it would just be added to my collection, and it would just be read, right? It's highly unlikely that locally I could find five people who could understand what a Vislay is, right? So, but let's get all the way there, okay? But if I were to purchase this, okay, I would have two equal experiences emotionally. I would be so thrilled when I just unfolded that beautiful thing and looked through all the books and got to look through the art book and look through all the cards and and it would just be wonderful, right? Then if I scrambled through and I was able to get enough people to play the game, I would definitely have an experience of, Sally, get your freaking Cheeto fingers off of those cards. I will, right? So that would be one of the things that's really tough and that the PDF does fix. So the PDF does fix one more thing, right? And that is, when you own the PDF, you can print as much as you want, and you can be as abusive as you want with the game materials because you can recreate them at your local Kinko's. That has distinct value as well, right? So I think there's a very, very tiny group of people who will be blessed by the existence of the PDF. I do not think for 1 minute that tiny group having that access to the game is worth the diminishment of the mystique around the black cube. I do think that Invisible Sun should have remained a print-only version. I think the diminishment of the black cube itself by the existence of the PDF is not worth the cash that's going to flow into Monty Cook Games. But Monty Cook Games, Monty Cook and Shauna Germain made a different choice, right? And it's their game. They worked hard on it. They have a right to do as they wish with that game. So I fully support their freedom to do that. I question the wisdom of that choice. And it's interesting. So the other thing is, I will say is, to this very day, the black cube remains on my get list, right? I would really love, I'll tell you right now, there are multiple FLGSs that are around my home sphere, and I go into them on a regular basis. And if I ever see the Black Cube on a shelf, I think it's going to be hard for me not to purchase it. I also think that this will be the kind of RPG that I purchase on a whim, right? Or if I go to, when I go to Gen Con, or if I go to Origins or something like that. I think if they had the Black Cube pristine, sealed, I definitely would pull that trigger. So I think that's my take. It's really interesting. That's my take on the $99 PDF version of Invisible Sun. Very, very interesting product, and I think it also says a lot that Monte Cook Games continues to be part of the conversation of modern TRPGs. They really are a unique company. They're doing things that nobody else is doing. Very, very interesting company, and I'm very impressed with what Monte Cook Games and Shauna Germain have accomplished, and I really always love seeing their new products. All right, that's my take on the $99 PDF version of Invisible Sun. I'd love to know your opinion. Do you think that's a fair price? Do you think people should be buying the $99, or do you agree with me that they should just stretch and get the $252 Black Cube? Because the Black Cube for $252 is wow. A PDF of Invisible Sun for $99 is like, did I make the right choice? No, it's a tough call. All right, have a wonderful day. Please consider liking and subscribing. Take care.